Hello students, welcome to your WebSeek Academy English channel. Today, we will discuss the short story, The Bench, which is part of the first semester BCA English syllabus. This powerful and emotional story is written by Richard Rive, a South African writer known for his strong stance against racial discrimination and injustice. A note on the author. Richard Moray Rive, 1931 to 1989, was a South African writer, literary critic, and teacher whose short stories, which were dominated by the ironies and oppression of apartheid and by the degradation of slum life, have been extensively anthologized and translated into more than a dozen languages. He was considered to be one of South Africa's most important short story writers. Rive initially published his stories in South African magazines such as Drum and Fighting Talk. His collection African Songs was published in 1963. His short story, The Bench, for which he won a prize, is still anthologized. Emergency, Buckingham Palace District 6 and Writing Black are the three novels that were published in his lifetime. Writing Black was his autobiography. On 23 August 2013, at the Aziz Hassan Literary Awards held in Durban, Rive and two other esteemed South African authors, Ronnie Govender and Don Matera, were honored for their contributions to the fight against apartheid through literature. The Bench Summary. Introduction. Richard Rive's short story The Bench is set in apartheid-era South Africa, a time when strict racial segregation laws controlled every aspect of life. The story focuses on Carly, a black man who has just arrived in Cape Town by train, and his encounter with the harsh realities of racism in the city. Carly's journey to Cape Town. Carly comes to Cape Town filled with excitement. The city is new to him, and he looks forward to exploring its streets. However, he is also aware of the racial segregation enforced by apartheid laws, which dictate where black and white people can go. As he walks through the city, he admires the modern buildings and the well-dressed people. He notices how everything seems different from his rural home. However, the differences are not just about appearance, there is also a strict division between races. The temptation of the bench. While walking, Carly starts feeling tired and looks for a place to sit and rest. He sees a public bench, but it has a sign that reads, Europeans only, meaning it is reserved for white people. He knows that sitting there could get him into trouble, but he hesitates. He wonders why something as simple as sitting on a bench should be forbidden to him just because of his skin color. Despite knowing the risks, Carly decides to sit. For a moment, he feels triumphant. He has challenged the unfair system in his own small way. Sitting on the bench gives him a sense of equality, even if only temporarily. Confrontation and humiliation. However, Carly's defiance is short-lived. A white man soon approaches him and orders him to move. The white man speaks with authority, assuming that Carly must obey without question. Carly, realizing the danger of the situation, reluctantly gets up and walks away. As he leaves, Carly feels humiliated and powerless. His brief moment of rebellion has only reinforced his place in the racial hierarchy. The encounter reminds him that he is seen as inferior in the eyes of the law and society. Conclusion. Richard Rive's The Bench is a powerful story that highlights the cruelty of apartheid through a simple yet profound incident. It shows how systemic racism controls even the smallest aspects of life and how deeply it affects individuals. The story leaves the reader with a strong sense of injustice, making it clear that apartheid is not just about laws, it is about the everyday suffering of those who are denied their dignity and humanity. Symbolism and themes. 1. The bench as a symbol of apartheid. The bench represents the system of racial segregation in South Africa. It is a simple object, yet it carries deep significance. The sign, Europeans only, is a reminder that black people are denied even basic rights like sitting in a public space. 2. Psychological effects of racism. Carly's experience shows how racism is not just about physical separation but also about psychological oppression. His act of sitting on the bench is not a grand political protest, it is a basic human need. Yet, the system denies him even this small comfort, reinforcing his inferior status. 3. Defiance and defeat. Carly's decision to sit on the bench is an act of quiet resistance, but the confrontation shows the harsh reality. In a system as deeply entrenched as apartheid, individual defiance often ends in humiliation rather than victory. Answer in a phrase or a sentence each. 1. Where was the speech being made? Answer. The speech was being made at the railway station. 2. Who were among the crowd? Answer. The crowd consisted of workers, passers-by, and political activists. 3. Why did Carly stare at the two detectives? Answer. Carly stared at the two detectives because he was aware that they were observing him closely. 4. Who was the boss according to OU class? Answer. According to OU class, the white man was the boss. 5. What was mentioned on the railway bench? Answer. The railway bench had a sign that read, "Whites only." 6. What were the two conflicting ideas that throbbed through Carly? Answer. The two conflicting ideas were fear of punishment and the urge to defy segregation. 7. How did the milling crowd coming out of the train react to Carly sitting on the bench? Answer. The crowd was shocked, surprised, and some were amused at Carly's defiance. Answer in about a page each. 1. What were the speakers talking about? What were Carly's thoughts as he listened to the speeches? Answer. The speakers were talking about the injustices of apartheid and the need to resist discrimination. They encouraged people to fight for their rights and not to be afraid of the authorities. As Carly listened, he was deeply moved, but at the same time, he felt uncertain about whether he had the courage to defy the system. His thoughts were filled with doubt, yet he also felt inspired by the words of the leaders. He began to question the rules that oppressed him and wondered if he should take a stand. 2. What were OU class's views on segregation? Answer. OU class accepted segregation as a way of life. He believed that white people were superior and that black people should obey them. He thought that resisting these rules would only lead to trouble. Unlike Carly, who wanted to challenge discrimination, OU class represented an older generation that had resigned itself to oppression. He saw no point in fighting back, thinking that change was impossible. 3. How does the crowd react to Carly's protest? In what way is it significant? Answer. When Carly sat on the whites-only bench, the crowd reacted with a mixture of surprise, amusement, and fear. Some laughed, some were curious, and others were afraid of the consequences. This reaction was significant because it showed how deeply ingrained apartheid laws were in society. Most people did not expect Carly to resist, and their reaction highlighted both the fear of punishment and the possibility of change. 4. Why did Carly smile in the end? Do you think it is an effective way of registering one's protest? Answer. Carly smiled in the end because he realized that he had made a statement against apartheid. Despite being arrested, he had confronted the oppressive system and defied the rules. His smile showed his inner victory and his refusal to be broken by fear. His protest was effective in the sense that it challenged the status quo and might inspire others. However, it also showed the cost of resistance in a society where the law was against him. Answer in about 2 pages each. 1. The bench serves as a symbol of everything that Karli protested and won. Do you agree? Answer: yes. The bench symbolized Karli's fight against apartheid and his personal victory over fear. The bench was marked whites only, representing the racial segregation imposed by the government. By sitting on it, Karli directly challenged this unjust rule. The bench also represents Karli's transformation. At first, he was hesitant, unsure if he had the courage to take action. However, as he listened to the speeches and observed the world around him, he realized that resisting oppression was necessary. Sitting on the bench was his way of claiming equality and asserting his dignity. Although he was arrested, Karli won a psychological and moral victory. His actions showed that apartheid could be challenged, and his small act of defiance was a step toward greater resistance. The bench, therefore, stands as a powerful symbol of both the injustice of segregation and the courage needed to fight against it. 2. Comment on the turn of events at the end of the story. Do you think it is abrupt, or does the writer prepare the reader for this ending? Answer: the ending of the story is not abrupt but rather a natural conclusion to Karli's journey of self-discovery and defiance. Throughout the story, Karli struggles with fear and uncertainty. He is inspired by the speeches but also aware of the dangers of resisting apartheid. The writer builds tension by showing Karli's inner conflict, making the ending feel inevitable rather than sudden. When Karli finally sits on the bench, it is a culmination of his thoughts and emotions. The reaction of the crowd and the arrival of the police reinforce the oppressive system in which he lives. His arrest is not unexpected, as apartheid laws were strictly enforced. The final moment, where Karli smiles, is a powerful resolution. It shows that despite being physically defeated, he has won a moral victory. The ending is well prepared and reinforces the story's central themes. 3. Do you see a relation between the outside events and the thoughts that run inside the mind of Karli? How does the story establish the link between the two? Answer: yes, there is a strong link between the external events and Karli's internal thoughts. The story is structured in a way that connects Karli's personal struggle with the broader fight against apartheid. Externally, Karli is surrounded by speeches about resistance, a crowd that is both oppressed and fearful, and the presence of law enforcement. These external elements influence his thoughts, making him question his place in society. Internally, Karli battles between fear and courage. He knows the risks of defying apartheid but also feels compelled to take a stand. As he listens to the speeches, his thoughts shift from hesitation to determination. The moment he sits on the bench is the point where his internal struggle transforms into action. The story effectively links the two by showing how personal decisions are shaped by the social and political environment. Karli's small act of defiance reflects the larger struggle for freedom, making his personal journey significant on a broader scale. 4. Anti-apartheid is a struggle, not between black and white, but against all forms of discrimination. How does the story bring this out? Answer: the story highlights that apartheid is not just about black versus white but about the injustice of discrimination itself. While white people enforce segregation laws, the real enemy is the system that allows inequality to exist. This is evident in the different reactions of the black characters. Some, like the political speakers, call for resistance, while others, like OU class, accept segregation. This shows that discrimination affects people differently, and not everyone fights against it in the same way. Carly's act of defiance is not just about race, it is about human dignity and equality. His struggle represents the broader fight against all forms of oppression. The story suggests that true freedom comes from challenging any system that denies people their rights, regardless of race. Thus, The Bench is not just an anti-apartheid story but a call to resist all forms of discrimination, making its message universally relevant. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Webseek Academy for more English lessons and notes. See you in the next video. Until then, never stop learning.